everybody. David Schuster here. Fox News host Sean Hannity just got a reminder as to why he usually refrains from inviting on smart liberal guests. Progressive radio star Stephanie Miller, who's not only smart but also witty and hilarious, got invited on, dominated Hannity, and ridiculed his channel.
You know what else is great about Biden's decline is that Trump is all over the Epstein files, and I'm wondering if they're going to release those. Are you covering that tonight?
Stephanie Miller's mischievous smile was unbeatable. And Sean Hannity, who seems limited to being just pugnacious and loud, was out of his league. The segment began with Hannity showing a photograph of Stephanie Miller, who is a comedian in addition to a radio host, kissing the feet of Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett.
I thought it was funny, but if it was anybody else, I probably wouldn't think it was as funny. So, well done.
Thank you for being the only one on the right that gets the joke. Sean, it was a joke. And then, you know, the funniest thing about this story is Trump's all over the Epstein files. And I wonder if they're going to release that after the big bombshell. I didn't see anything about that on Fox News today. Yeah. Okay. So let's release them. Let's release those files. Is this what passes for news? Is this what passes for news on Fox News?
Why did you kiss her feet?
Hannity tried to pivot away from Stephanie's point about Fox and the Epstein files by redirecting the conversation to Joe Biden. A lot of high-profile Democrats have been asked over the past year whether Biden should have dropped out of the 2024 campaign sooner than he did. Hannity and Miller, who have known each other and been friendly for more than 30 years, spoke about Biden earlier on a radio program, and Hannity followed up on Fox with this.
So I do have a question. I tried to get an answer out of you on radio. Okay. The question is, when did you notice Joe Biden's cognitive decline? And don't change the subject and deflect. When did you really notice it?
Well, I think it was through all of the times that Donald Trump has fallen asleep in public and talked about, you know, magnets getting wet in the last few, you know,
gosh.
My mom had dementia, so I recognize it.
Stephanie, this is not, it's a very good deflection. You're a professional.
You know what else is
shows.
great
You're
about Biden's decline is that Trump is all over the Epstein files, and I'm wondering if they're going to release those. Are you covering that tonight?
Not really, because the woman that apparently they're talking about is the one that said he was a gentleman and never did anything wrong. And the person that had a grudge was the guy that got thrown out of Mar-a-Lago 25 years ago. And by the way, when you get thrown out of a club in Palm Beach, Florida, that's kind of a big deal. And it's very humiliating and embarrassing. And he was a convicted pedophile. So I'm not exactly putting a lot of gospel truth in what he said.
Trump was mad that he was stealing his girls, but
Trump was mad that Epstein was stealing his girls. There's nobody sharper and funnier anywhere in talk radio or cable news than Stephanie Miller. Now, full disclosure, I've been on Stephanie's show repeatedly through the years, and Stephanie, on top of being an amazing talent, is also a wonderful person. I love her dearly. And as you could tell, Sean Hannity is also a Stephanie Miller fan, at least personally. And if you're going to have somebody ridicule you on live TV, dominate your show, and mock your channel for not covering the Epstein files, well, that person might as well be somebody you like and are friendly with. So kudos to Sean Hannity for putting Stephanie Miller on his program. And there is a larger point. In this hyper-partisan Trump era, far too many of us tend to retreat into our own political circles and not even bother to have conversations with people we disagree with or who have views we consider abhorrent. If we're ever going to get our society and political dialogue out of this ditch, well, we're going to need to find ways to talk with and even joke with people who are different from us. People who are different politically, religiously, financially, racially, and more. We don't have to agree on many things, but we need to find some common humanity and show that we can engage in civilized debate and discussion. As much as I get frustrated with Sean Hannity, he deserves credit for having that sort of engagement and dialogue on his own high-rated cable show. Hannity could have put on a right-wing talk show host or guest and criticized Democrats. That's what Hannity did the rest of his hour, and that is the Fox News MO most of the time. But in those moments on Fox, or MSNBC, or in a diner, or at our own kitchen table, when people with different views come together, agree to disagree, and laugh at each other, our society gets better. Tolerance is a virtue, so is diversity, and it all makes us more accountable and open to basic truths. There was another example recently on Fox News when host Harris Faulkner interviewed voters, including Democrats, about the government shutdown.
I think it should really be referred to as the Republicant Party, because all they talk about is what they can't do. They can't reopen the government. They can't find a way to feed poor people.
Wait a minute. You do understand that they gave a House passed, and you know one of the hardest places on the planet to get something passed is in the House.
Republicans really, they control all three branches of government. They own the shutdown. There's no question about it. And as far as immigration goes, I have a friend who is in the process of legally becoming a U.S. citizen. Mm-hmm. He has filed the right paperwork. He has gone to all the appointments. He's done everything he has to do. He is so terrified of being picked up and thrown in detention by ICE that he is basically just going back to Brazil. Yep. That is not where we should be. And this plays into the affordability crisis. This city and all cities and all parts of the American economy run on the kinds of typically cheaper labor that immigrants provide to us. The prices of everything go up when the labor prices go up, and we are removing a really important part of the pathway to becoming part of this country when we terrify communities of immigrants.
Many Republicans, including the Fox host, may disagree with that point, but just allowing that point to be made on Fox News, that's progress. To be clear, none of us should expect that Fox News is about to embrace the fairness doctrine, that old understanding from 40 years ago that broadcast channels should give politicians in different parties equal time. Fox has been and will probably always be something of a GOP propaganda channel. Still, even if a slim percentage of airtime on Fox News is given to Democrats and progressives, that's important. And to be fair, there is a regular on-air staffer on Fox who is progressive and brilliant, Jessica Tarlov.
The talking points that you guys were referring to about men is what happened in 2024. And rightly so, Democrats saw those election results and heard all of that and have been trying to change course. And the election results from last week gave a pretty strong indication that that has worked. Look at where Latino men voted. Look at the fact that black men came back to the normal levels in terms of elections in New Jersey and Virginia. Look at the fact that people like Mamdani, Cheryl, Spanberger, and then, yes, all across the country where we had other races, people who voted for Trump in 2024, then turned out and voted for Democrats this time.
Trump is popular among men, is what you're saying, because he wasn't running.
He can't be your crutch forever. He's not allowed to be on the ballot again. Kellyanne. So you talk about Gavin Newsom. Prop 50 was a huge, huge win, well-deserved victory lap. And you say, okay, well, we'll have to rig the game back, which it actually started with them asking about Texas first, and that's why Gavin Newsom did this. The problem is, if these numbers from what happened on Tuesday hold, like in Texas, they're supposed to get 5 seats, but 2 of those seats you won't get if the Latino turnout isn't as they expected from 2024. There is work to be done, and this idea that you can just sit back and yell socialist at us or bad with men, it's not going to work.
Jessica Tarlov, the lone Fox progressive who takes on several conservatives every single day on Fox. Jessica's a national treasure. She also has superhuman powers, given her ability to stay calm and sane, despite having to talk with, be interrupted by, and debate Greg Gutfeld and Jesse Waters every day. And in those minutes when Fox News gives airtime to Jessica Tarlov or a Democratic voter or a progressive star like Stephanie Miller, America starts to breathe a little again. Our discourse becomes more valuable. Justice reemerges, and our nation becomes better and a little less partisan. Our common humanity, the ability to laugh and smile, can be a wonderful thing. Respect to everybody who recognizes that and is willing, at least on occasion, to put it ahead of fiery partisanship. By the way, Donald Trump is panicking as members of his own party in Congress abandon him.
I'm going to vote for it if it comes up because
you'll vote for the bill.
Yeah, because look, I think the Oversight Committee has pushed out a lot of disclosures.
I will vote for yes on the floor.
Well, I've already had a couple Republicans tell my office privately that they're going to vote for it, and I think that could snowball.
Mr. President, can you respond to these Epstein emails that were released today?
Check out that video at the link below. It generated a lot of comments on YouTube. One of the most popular is from Tim Jones, who wrote, "Mr. Schuster, thanks for bringing the truth always." Tim, you are very welcome, and you're very kind. I appreciate it. I look forward to reading all of your comments about Stephanie Miller ridiculing Fox News host Sean Hannity on Hannity's own show. I'm David Schuster. Thanks for joining us.